What is up, people? I will show you another textbook misinformer in this video. We've already seen him on the channel. It's Prashant Desai. So with these videos, my objective is for you to know who are the misinformers who are providing obviously wrong information, and I'll show you what he's saying here and why it's wrong. But I want you to take those as red flags. When you get your health information, health or diet or whatever information, you should notice what are the patterns that often come up in such videos, and who are the people who give you such red flag information, such obviously wrong information. And that's a cue for you to avoid such people. This is one such example.
Maggie is unhealthy, eat oats. Lie. Oats are not healthy at all. Oat contains anti-nutrients that steal away minerals from your food. They essentially contain carbohydrate, which results in massive blood glucose spike. Unlike what the bodybuilders will tell you, oats doesn't contain enough protein. It only contains 5 grams.
That's actually a pretty good protein concentration for a vegetarian food. And what he said about carbohydrates, I'll speak a little bit more about that, about glucose spikes and about anti-nutrients. I will actually show you a video from a diet researcher that will tell you all the information you need. Let's watch what else he says.
So protein. Unlike what health and nutrition experts will tell you, it doesn't contain enough fiber. It only contains 4 grams of fiber.
4 grams of fiber is a lot of fiber. See, look at that. It's actually the highest in the list over there.
And guys, they also contain a herbicide which is linked to cancer. So oat is not good for you.
This is textbook fear-mongering, associating anything with serious diseases like cancer.
If you really want to have better alternatives, eat eggs, great for you. Eat garam nashta made at home, great for you.
Now that is simple carbs. I'll talk more about that. Okay, so the thing about oats is, I think a lot of people and their mother know that oats are healthy carbs compared to Maggi and whatever masala dosha he showed in the video, later on in the video. The reason they're complex carbohydrates is because the body takes more time to digest them, and hence they don't cause as much of a sugar spike as compared to, say, white bread or white rice, which is simple carbs. The body digests them easily, and those are the ones that cause a sugar spike. He showed some value for the amount of protein in half a cup of oats. That's actually pretty high for vegetarian food, and the amount of fiber is actually pretty high. I should actually point out there's a comment by Muscle Lab that is right on top. He is someone who gives out good information and calls out fearmongers like this. Let's actually read that out. This is factually wrong, and it is easily verifiable with a simple search for meta-analysis on oat consumption. PMID, that number, clearly states that on the basis of almost 470,000 participants, oats consumption is absolutely correlated with lower rates of type 2 diabetes and all-cause mortality. All plant-based foods have anti-nutrients, and soaking and cooking significantly reduces them. He also mentions that 4 grams of fiber is actually not a small amount. It's actually 20% of your daily requirement. I'll also show you another video that's about the anti-nutrients specifically. It's by Dr. Ed's, one of my favorite good information pages. You should be following him for sure. He puts out a lot of really good information on diet and calls out a lot of fearmongers. Let's see a video he did on oatmeal being not healthy, containing a lot of similar arguments, and he counters this with proper information. Let's watch.
Foods, oatmeal. You think this is the best breakfast ever. This is not the breakfast of champions. Oats are full of phytic acid, a compound that chelates, that bites onto minerals like magnesium, zinc, calcium, iron, and many others in your body and prevents you from absorbing them. Basically, your morning oatmeal is robbing you of nutrients, not a health food, horrible breakfast.
I've come to the conclusion that Paul is simply allergic to evidence. Time's cool. Firstly, whilst phytic acid can reduce the absorption of certain minerals like iron and zinc, he conveniently leaves out that oats contain lots of nutrients like iron and zinc. So in reality, it's not depleting anything. Secondly, you might want to look into the benefits of phytic acid, as it plays an important role in reducing oxidative stress, renal stone formation, and even cancer prevalence. But let's just forget about specific compounds, because if you want to understand how oats impact your health, then you need to look at the research on people consuming actual oats. For example, this meta-analysis on 14 randomized controlled human trials found that oats significantly reduced HbA1c, fasting blood glucose, total cholesterol, and LDL cholesterol. Oh, there's more. This meta-analysis of 23 RCTs found that in those with health issues, oats significantly reduced the inflammatory biomarker C-reactive protein and interleukin-6 in those with dyslipidemia. I can do this all day. This brand new meta-analysis of 21 RCTs found that oats significantly reduced systolic blood pressure. Literally every single analysis on multiple controlled human trials shows that oats are extremely health promoting. If you believe anything this guy says, I genuinely feel sorry for you.
I think that's the end of this video. So I just wanted to show you some examples of Prashant Desai promoting fear mongering. I'll show you one more video. There was a recent video which is just watch the video and see what are the patterns of fear mongering that a lot of these influencers use.
This new disease is now found in kids thanks to sugar found in fruit juices, cakes, biscuit, cola, pastries, etc. It's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Why did this came into our kids' life? For that, you will have to understand sugar. Sugar has two parts. 50% is glucose and 50% is fructose. Glucose is your body's preferred source of fuel which gives you energy, but not fructose. Everything in fructose gets converted into fat to be stored as energy. But the metabolism of this fructose is where it becomes very, very dangerous. Your stomach cannot metabolize fructose. Large part of that metabolism happens in the liver. The liver converts all the fructose into liver fat, which is why you will see a fatty liver in kids. Be careful because sugar is fructose. Fructose goes to the liver, converts into liver fat, causes non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The second stage, liver cirrhosis. After that, your kid will require a liver transplant.
Your kid will die. See, that is how these fearmongers come. See, fructose, I would say, is just as bad as sugar. We already have a lot of fearmongers saying that sugar is bad. It leads to a lot of fat deposition in your body. You will have a lot of visceral fat thanks to sugar, thanks to glucose specifically. So we don't really need additional fearmongering against sugar with this new disease, fatty liver. See, ultimately, sugar is at the end of the day calories, whether it's from glucose or fructose. Now, fructose is not directly metabolized by the stomach, that's correct. It's metabolized in the liver, but ultimately overconsumption of both glucose and fructose, whatever components of sugar, it leads to fat. One is liver fat, the other is visceral or subcutaneous fat or whatever. At the end of the day, overconsumption is what is the problem. If you eat more than your calorie requirement, which you can figure out for any body weight, any body composition, in adults or kids, overconsumption is what leads to these diseases, diabetes or fatty liver or whatever it is. But is fructose bad in itself? Is sugar bad in itself? Over-consuming is what is bad, not sugar itself, not fructose itself. We're looking at health line. Excessive intake of fructose may lead to metabolic diseases. I'm not saying excessive consumption is not bad. It is bad, but more human evidence is needed. See, fructose from added sugar is bad for you. Fruit is not. They're hard to overeat if you get them from fruit. At the end of the day, it's overconsumption that is bad. Any kind of carb can be converted by the body into fat. If you have more fat, more visceral fat or subcutaneous fat than a certain amount, that can lead to a lot of metabolic diseases, metabolic disorders. Diabetes is one such. Can also lead to a non-alcoholic fatty liver. See, what I do is I don't eat glucose or fructose. What I eat is stevia. A lot of artificial sweeteners are safe. You can look it up before you eat anything, but the main advantage is that artificial sweeteners help you manage weight gain and at the same time make whatever it is that you're eating sweeter. I just use stevia instead of sugar. There's no glucose, there's no fructose, and it's safe. It keeps me from gaining weight while eating foods that are tastier. And you can look it up if you're concerned about the safety of whatever you're eating, whatever artificial sweeteners. You can look it up, you can Google it, you can look at reliable websites that cite studies for this. Decide for yourself. But at the end of the day, this is what I do and it keeps me from gaining weight. That's it for this video. I will see you in the next one.